look who his spiritual guide is. In other words, you hear me, every other sentence is usually, Reb Shalom Arush, Reb Melitzer Rebbe. When you hear Lazer Brody speak, it's all the influence of my spiritual guides. And this is not only a part of, of us at Judaism. Everyone has it, someone they look up to, someone that they're molded after. This especially in Judaism. Barack Hussein Obama as his spiritual guide. Okay. His spiritual guide happens to be an influential minister who has let's see how he would describe himself. Okay, first of all, Reverend Jeremiah Wright Jr. is his spiritual guide. And he has what's called liberation theology. I think that's a description. Okay, now liberation theology, this is the Che Guevara type theology, where it idolizes people who could be terrorist murderers, but in the freedom candidate. Now, even so far as I've heard, I don't have a picture of this, okay, but that in Barack Obama's campaign headquarters, I think it's in Texas, they have a picture of Che Guevara on the wall. I mean, when you identify with Che Guevara, okay, this shows who you are. Okay, this is called liberation theology. This is what Reverend Jeremiah Wright Jr. stands for. Reverend Jeremiah Wright Jr., I can't say on Arutz Sheva on Israel National Radio what Reverend Jeremiah Wright Jr. said about the United States. It's the opposite of God bless America. Okay, it's the opposite. Change the middle verb. Okay, the exact opposite. And once again, when we tie this in to the fact that Barack Hussein Obama stands in public, okay, he won't put a little American flag in his lapel, and he won't put his hand on his heart when he hears the American national anthem. Everybody knows, you see before the football games, and this is an expression of one's commitment to one's country. When you look at the expressions of Mrs. Barack Hussein Obama, where she says the first time in her life she has been proud of her country, as with her husband's being appointed, that you can't call her a patriot for America anyway. So you have to, whose best interest they look out for. It doesn't seem to be the United States. Okay, so once again, let's take a look at who Barack's spiritual mentor is, this Reverend Jeremiah Wright. Okay, he stands in it's a racialist belief system, a black racialist belief system. Okay, and it's in direct contrast to what Obama talks about with his platitudes regarding the need and the desirability of racial and religious inclusiveness. Okay, now the very church that Obama belongs to are the opposite about the platitudes, the needs for all people that he talks about. He's going to be president of all people, whatever race or religion, and they should come together as one. And he says something like that. There's not a black America, not a white America, not a Latino America, not an Asian American. His famous speech, in the Democratic National Convention. Now, if you look at anti-Semitism in America and leaders that are associated with anti-Semitism, let's take Louis Farrakhan, for example, okay, the black Muslim, or you take an Al Sharpton. These are all bosom buddies of Reverend Jeremiah Wright. In fact, Reverend Jeremiah Wright, together with Louis Farrakhan, they made a trip to Libya and they visited Gaddafi. Okay, and they had all hugs and kisses with Gaddafi. And you can't be, this is mutually exclusive, to be a lover and a supporter of Gaddafi and a lover and supporter of Israel and the Jewish people. It doesn't work like that. Okay, so people should take a good hard look. Now, let's ask ourselves, how is it that this freshman senator with an anti-Semitic record and anti-Semitic ties, an anti-American record, anti-American ties, makes it to the top of the Democrats? Okay, well, first of all, let's see, this reminds me of a little corporal in the German army, insignificant corporal named Adolf Schicklgruber, that all of a sudden overnight made it to the head of the German people. And that was logical also. But it was Hashem that made Adolf Schicklgruber the head of the German people. And I believe it's Hashem that, unless we really change our ways, is going to take Barack Hussein Obama and make him the head of the American people, which this is a double threat. This is no longer Israel with Hashem's help. With Hashem's help, we'll take care of our own business. But America has to look at what it's going to be like being a Jew living in America once Barack Hussein Obama takes office. Now, I'm not worried about Israel because Hashem will take care of us, and I believe that the Jewish people will make tshuva. We see what's going on. When I see what's going on, just with the book, Rav Shalom Arish's book, that Hashem gave us the privilege of translating to English, the Garden of Emuna, Gan Emuna, in Hebrew and English and Russian, it's already gone almost to 500,000 copies. So I mean, Emuna is going crazy, Tamar. You know, people know that this world it's garbage, and that the politicians are garbage. We see every day there's new scandals and we can't even fathom what's going on in our own anti-Emuna regime. But people know there's no choice but to return to Hashem. And so I'm very optimistic about what's going to happen in Eretz Yisrael. Very optimistic. And I think we're going to see tremendous miracles. Okay, so, but we have to worry about it. People think now the problems in Israel are not our problems. We're in a safe place, like I say, in Miami or in L.A. or in New York. I don't think this is what's in the cards unless American Jewry wakes up. And wakes up means in three main areas. First of all, in Emuna. Second, in assimilation. Three, into doing deep soul searching where their true home is and where their future is, which means Israel, not America. I will fill in the blank. We'll answer the question for them. Okay, since this is not happening whole scale in America, we don't see a whole scale tshuva movement in America like we do in Israel. We don't see a wholesale soul searching in America like we do in Israel. We see it very much now in Israel. People are asking themselves serious questions, especially what's going on with all the investigations into alleged crimes